YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, back in Total War Attila on the West Rome Legendary campaign. I went ahead and installed the mod. I'll put the name and link to it in the description to be able to convert at a lower threshold. I did it. I mean, we're pretty much there. We're close. So, I mean, another 4 or 5 turns to get up to 35% or whatever, and we would have made it. But, I mean, so I just didn't want to wait, so went ahead and put the mod on. So we did the work to go ahead and get it headed that way. We're going to go ahead and convert to Greco-Roman Paganism. That will mean now that we no longer have the bad effects from, or when we're facing the Huns, but it could potentially leave us with other issues. Now, we do have new edicts that can be issued. Let's see, Will of Jupiter gives us increased research rate, and it spreads paganism. And that's certainly not a bad thing. We've got this one, too, that spreads paganism and gives sanitation bonuses. That's pretty big. That would actually be super helpful. We have quite a bit of money right now. We must have gotten an award for completing a mission or something. And it looks like I was probably about to turn in. Or no, was I coming out of a turn in? I can't really tell, but we got a lot of work to do, so let's do some of the work. We've got governors. Let's check where we've got our governors. So, family. I thought we had some of these positions filled, but apparently we do not anymore. We can take this guy and we can put him in here to the Master of Soldiers. That's not going to hurt at all to throw him in there. Let's check out the character details on some of these guys. So some of them not the best loyalty. But maybe by assigning them to one of these positions, they will... this guy's a general. Where is he at? He's a general. Let's zoom to his position. Well, let's just stick him in here. Is there anybody else that can help me fill the Master of Soldiers position? There is not. We need to adopt someone with our faction leader because he doesn't really have... This guy's the heir. It's his brother. And that's fine. But I'm thinking about adopting... Let's maybe adopt that guy there. Let's see... Sextus. No, we're going to adopt Sextus Perennis, or whatever this guy is, because I know I have one viewer that's named himself that now and really likes this guy. So we're going to try and adopt him. It'll take away a little bit of our influence to adopt him, but that would be a nice win if we get it. So let's go ahead and work on that. Again, I meant to go in, though, and let's really see where we have the governors at. We've got one down here in Carthagenesis. Let's see. Not going to hurt to start spreading the religion, and then the extra sanitation boost is not going to hurt either. So let's go ahead and swap that over. We'll lose a little bit of food production where we have these, and some of these we may not be able to switch if we really need the public order, because we were getting +4. But we're going to need to... Oh, this is public order. It's public order from paganism. It's not spreading it, but we'll have that from the theaters that we're building, so we should be good. So we're swapping that over. I know we have a governor in Italy, and that's our faction leader. I'm going to go with that one. And where was our last governor? Carthage. Salty Carthago, I should say. Some people are getting on to me for changing the names of the city, saying it ruins the immersion. I'm sorry if it ruins the immersion for you, but I mean, it's my campaign. I kind of like to just customize it a bit, so... Try not to get too worked up over it. I'm not saying you were, just saying, you know, it's just a name. We'll be all right. Trying to have some fun here with it. So, let's see. Salty Carthage. Let's give this thing public order up to +4 bonus from the presence of Roman paganism. So, there we go. So, we've swapped those provinces. We need to make sure we're spreading plenty of Roman paganism at this point. We get a small sanitation bonus here. I'm trying to think what I should do in this province. I'd really like to get a tabernae going in more places because of the money that we can get from that. The theater and the tabernae is going to drive some huge income for us. We've got some sanitation from the fountain over there. That'll help. With all this extra money, let's go ahead and spend it to convert some of these to a theater. I mean, that is a huge jump in income from that conversion. And eventually, if I feel good enough about the public order, I might turn some of these where it's a governor's house, like turn it over into... let's convert this one over to the theater as well. We have plenty of public order, and that's going to give us way better income from that. We can go ahead and build the wheat field here, which means that we can convert this back over to the sheep flock, so that'll give us more income and be helpful. We've got the one sheep flock here. This amphitheater I want to convert to the theater. So let's just make sure we've got the theater there. We can actually upgrade all the way to the highest level here if we have the food for it. That's 1,650 wealth from culture and then 5 influence to paganism. It does consume a ton of food. And I'm not sure we have enough food at the moment. We have 57 extra food, but I mean, it goes up and down in the seasons a little. So we probably want to shore up our food just a little bit better here. Public order is fairly strong, and it goes from 10 to 13, so not a huge boost there, but it's a boost. That gives us an extra 40 food just from upgrading this. It's only 2 squalor, and I think squalor is covered by sanitation. It is at the moment, so we're good there. Plus, we can always upgrade this and get extra sanitation to the smaller province. We could actually convert this to the one that doesn't drive growth as hard, but I do kind of want the extra growth still. Let's upgrade that. Upgrade the olive press so that we can definitely cover the food to go ahead and upgrade to the great theater. That's going to take a huge portion of our money, but it will also be a lot of income that it starts pouring back into my coffers. I'm going to move down here to Ravenna with this army. Still, there's a couple places where a navy could be very helpful, and now that we're turning a bit of money, I'm considering how we handle that at Brigantium if we build a military jetty. This province is struggling, though, still with public order. It's unfortunate. Governor's house. I wonder if you can build the theater and... like once you go down this tree, like if we build the theater, if you can do another one in the same town, like if I put the forum, I'm just curious now. So if we tear down the governor's house, it'll hurt our public order by a little bit. Tabernae, where's the governor's house? Scriptorum. Governor's house is down a different tree. I don't know if I can build another forum there or not, but if I could, I could just... I mean, the governor's house is nice. You get some money out of it, but the public order boost are... yeah, they're pretty good. Oh, it enables champions, though, if we go up to the next level. Yeah, we need to research that next then. So let's do that, and we can keep the governor's estates and still get the champions. We need the champions pretty bad. We're probably suffering public order over here due to religious differences, yeah, and that'll stabilize some over time. We need to build a paganism building so that we can get priest. So let's just kind of see if there's anywhere where I have growth available in order to build a religious building. Yeah, if there is growth available anywhere, then I don't have the money left on this turn, but we do need to get some priest out, so we'll keep an eye on that. Let's go ahead and end this turn and see what happens. We're getting some important civic research done over the next 4 or 5 turns. Those Caledonians are retreating, but there's other troops still coming towards me. The Macedonians kind of sailing out like they might head towards Patchy Town, otherwise known as Tarentum back in the day.
My people are in danger.
The Swabians want me to join their war against Illyria, and I'm inclined to do so because the Swabians have built up a nice little empire here. Are they at war with Gaul? They are. And I would kind of like... I have a defensive alliance with them. I have a very good relationship with them, but it's deteriorating. If I join this war with them, and I wonder if we can get any money out of them for it too. Let's demand payment. It's only moderate. Let's just cancel the payment. Well, it's still only moderate, so it may not change anything. Let's just join their war. This'll definitely help my relations. Yeah, now it's improving.
Your mouth talks well.
Yeah, it gives me an extra war, but we're fairly well defended at Aquila, and having a good ally like the Swabians here is certainly helping me at the moment, because they attack all the stacks that are trying to come down through Gaul and France, or whatever that area is there that we want to call it. They've been pretty helpful. They chased off an army of the Jutes. They've attacked rebels. They've taken up some of those settlements. If I feel like attacking them later on way down the road, fine. But this basically gives me the support of a decent-sized ally in the region. And it gives me a buffer on land between the Saxons and everywhere else. I don't know where this Macedonian fleet is going to. We definitely need a couple of navies. We need to get started training that. So we could do a lot of damage with those and then sink all these transport fleets that are roaming around. These Roman separatists look like they're going to try and take over Bertigala, which they will be able to. I would think. Yeah, they got Onager and stuff like that. Let's just give it to them. Just run a balanced stance here. Let them have it. I don't feel like fighting that. So we'll see what happens there. They will take control of that settlement. I wasn't really making any money on that settlement. I do want it back eventually because it's fairly rich once you get it built up. So political obstruction. We're going to pull political favors for this guy. Office secured, into the fold. So we adopted Sextus. And that's good. Flavius, where is Sextus at right here?
At your command.
It's not him.
Ready for orders.
It's not him. Is he the guy in Africa?
We hunger for battle.
No. Where is he?
At your
Zoom to
command.
location. Oh, he's at Vienna.
We hunger.
So here he is. We're actually making some pretty good money at the moment. Got some rebels going on in this province. Let's get back down here to Aquitae Sextae, and let's let the rebellion just kind of push ahead for the moment. I want the Tabernae here because I want that income. And I'm also going to build another forum here. We've got the wineries too, these vineyards. That gives me a ton of extra public order and some production and a little bit of extra food, which allows me to just keep the sheep flocks there. So we should be able to start churning some pretty big money out of Narbonensis, especially if we keep the food in the positive, which should be pretty easy. So that'll take up a lot of our money for this turn, but we've got some good moves underway that are going to help us a pretty great deal. Yeah, this little transport fleet here is annoying. Let's take a look here. If I take some money and build up this military jetty here, we can train Liburnian. I think the Liburnian can ram. It's the assault Liburnian, I think, that can ram other ships. Ships like that will be very helpful. That provides a garrison of that, but we could actually already build those there. Huh. Well, let's raise a fleet because we need to start sinking these transport ships, and we can just basically blockade the Macedonians. We can also try and get rid of that Visigothic navy. It's going to eat up a decent chunk of my money, but we're making a little more money, so let's go ahead and let it be eaten up here. +3 when attacking. Let's do that. Raise a fleet. Let's get in here. I don't have a ton of money to recruit with, but we'll see what we can do. Yeah, this assault Liburnian, I mean, it should, yeah, devastating ramming. That's what we want, is the ability to ram other ships. I don't know if all these ships have the ram ability. Let's see. This one also has the ram ability. The Roman Marines here, Liburnian skirmisher, yeah, however you say that. 312, 260, 118 upkeep. These guys are not that much upkeep, and we can sink the crap out of transport fleets with these ramming ships. We can sink them real good. So I think that we are out of money. We probably need to go ahead and try and end another turn. I had this army here. We do have Abdonians that are just sitting on their transports right off the shore.
Ready for orders.
this army can only recruit spearmen. I'm just going to sit still there for a minute until we take care of the rebels at Narbonnesus. And then Narbonnesus will probably stabilize, assuming it doesn't get attacked again. I wonder if we could talk the Swabians into joining our war against, say, like, the Saxons, maybe? They're at war with Gaul. If they could even just finish off Gaul, that would be huge. Anyway, let's just go ahead and end this turn and see what happens. We're one turn away from completing this research, which will allow us to upgrade wheat farms and sheep pens. Nothing wrong with that. And then I'm going to do this one that helps build up the governor estate. Let's see, herbs, town hall, cattle pens. +1 to state religion. It says it disables the technology, but I have that mod on that does not disable the legacy tax, and we get +2 public order from bureaucratic reforms. That would be very helpful. So I'm going to finish this one and then work our way up to that. Trade wharfs, wheat mills. Where's the highest level? Sheep pen and sheep barn and cattle stuff. Yeah, there we go. We'll want to get up to that stuff eventually, and then corruption -2 from the current value. That's not bad either. Okay, let's go ahead and end the turn. Oh, we need to build up a religious building as well. Yep, okay. The Abdonians have landed in our territory. I'm going to go fortify a position in the mountains to try and discourage them. We need to get that other army to where it can recruit more troops, because right now it's kind of worthless. Swabians are actually doing a pretty decent job trying to help protect me. I mean, they're not spectacular, but it's certainly not bad. We got a lot of Abdonians landing in Iberia, and we need to do something about it. Let's see what we get here. Roxolanians. Not worried about them. I mean, they have to get through Aquileia, and with us training a navy, we can start sinking transport fleets to try and get around us. So we should be fairly safe at Italy. I'm almost thinking we focus some of our effort on the western front, get that safe, and then just keep building our economy with some of the money that we have coming in, because it is certainly paying off. We just got an extra bit of money there too from our allies with this fleet. Wish this fleet destroyed, so we get 2,000 for destroying that Macedonian fleet that's out here. I don't have anything to catch it with, and it's just sailing around like idiots. It is just a transport fleet. This small navy might be able to kill it. The Ostrogoths landed here, but they're just a small force. We could easily go ahead and bring this army down and wipe them out. Let's go ahead and take this fleet, start chasing, because that's worth 2,000 talents just to sink that crappy Macedonian transport fleet. So let's get started on that. And we can probably keep recruiting ships out here. We can. Let's see how many Marines. So that's only 27 Marines because it's a ramming vessel. You get more Marines on this ship. And that's a light bow ship. But it's a light bow ship that can ram as well. This one can ram too, and it's an artillery ship. Upkeep is a lot higher on it. Quite a lot higher. Let's just go ahead and get a few more of these ships to start with this turn. That way we have quite a few ramming ships. We can just put down a pretty big beat down with just the rams. Let's go ahead and start working our way to this technology. So we're going to start here. We've got to get all these as well, though. It's going to take 13 turns to get there. That would be 11 turns to get the Legio Comitatenses. So just going to wait and go ahead and go through this research. It'll be worthwhile. We kind of need another fleet over here to start warding off transport fleets. So I'm going to raise one more navy on this side. I'm just going to get cheap ships to fill it. Govern province, zeal +1, integrity +2. That'll be helpful. Let's raise the fleet. Again, we're going to spend just a little bit of money to recruit up some of these just cheap ramming vessels, because these guys will absolutely wreck all over transport fleets. Let's go ahead and move. Let's go ahead and move over here. I moved too far. Crap. I moved too far. So let's just go ahead and move back. Try and get within. Yeah, we're within reinforcement range. I meant to move just a little bit and get fortified. Our only recruitment facility is way down here. But I need it bad. We need Armageddon in these let's see, what's this Olispo? Where's Olispo? Olispo's way over here. Yeah, crap. I've got to get all the way down here to do that recruiting. So let's go ahead and start marching that way, though, because we definitely need these guys with a better army, because right now they're useless. We should be able to easily quell the uprising here.
For God himself.
And then these troops can be redirected to Iberia because the Swabians will help protect our flank. So we can quickly auto-resolve an easy win here. There we go. Wipe those guys out. I'm going to take on their warriors just to get my guys retrained quicker. And then let's go ahead and force march all the way back over here to Narbo. And 1 turn, we finish the forum. 3 turns, we'll have even more. We can upgrade to the highest level sheep pens now, but let's just see about sanitation. This is going to add 2 to the negative on sanitation. But we have the money to improve the waterworks as well. This won't help with growth, but I guess I'm not super worried about growth at the moment. Adds +4 to all provinces we're getting right now, +2 to all regions. So, I mean, let's do the one that does growth for now, because we need the extra growth. Help finish building up this province. We could get potentially a religious facility in one of these places too, which we need. We definitely need. So we need priests to help stabilize public order where we're having problems. I just do not have a place where I can build it. We do have this waterworks here, so that's +1 public order. This one's also adding +1 public order. +2. We're just struggling out here with public order. Just can't seem to get it high enough, even with some troops there. Public order's turning around a little bit down here. It's still negative in this province. Iron smelter. Definitely don't want to get rid of the iron smelter. We are just not getting good growth in this province. I mean, we're growing a little, but we need more public order in this province. It takes 5 to get to that structure. Let's just kind of see what we have down here. Local industry. Now, this is not entirely necessary at the moment. Let's tear that down. Let's build a Roman paganism building, and then we can get the priest over here to try and stabilize that province next door, and we can maybe send one out here to Insulae Occidentalis, or whatever that is, and we'll try and take care of that as well. We're positive 90 food there. So this one is 110 food in total. If I convert to the sheep flock, it is only 55 food in total, so we're going to lose half of that. We do have enough to absorb that at the moment, but eventually when we want to upgrade these buildings, we will not. Of course, we could always go to the fishing jetties, but that also dents public order, which we can't really afford at the moment. We'll consider that when the time comes. So we've got recruiting going on there. We've got recruiting going on here. We're going to chase down those transport fleets, get the easy 2,000 talents, kill the Ostrogoths. Not worried about the Storm of the Steppes and these guys over here. They are doing some raiding, which is irritating, but they're not going to be able to get through me here. We could upgrade the skirmisher range to get our own ballistari, and we should definitely do that. That would be a good spend. Let's go ahead and end another turn. It's reminding me that someone was killed in battle. Can't say that I care. Yeah, the Abdonians are kind of trying to entrench themselves. All we need to do is just keep them hemmed in until we get all my other armies ready to take care of them, which shouldn't be long. And getting through a few turn-ins like this without doing a whole lot of battles is actually kind of good. It helps me get some research done, helps me get some buildings completed. We definitely have battles to fight, but we're not losing ground at the moment. And once we get the navies up and running, we should be able to really cut down on the number of transport fleets coming towards our lands. And that will give me some freedom to go on the offensive a little bit. I'd kind of like to get Aquitania back under my control too, over where Bertigala is at. It's a very wealthy province. Because that and Narbo could earn me a ton of money. Good fertility, all that kind of stuff. The hordes are kind of pulling back. They know what's good for them. They've seen what happens to people who invade Aquelia. It does not end well. As transport fleets are running from me, I think I'll be able to eventually catch them with my navy, though. Golly, the Eastern Empire is just getting absolutely crapped on by everybody. They almost have it worse than I do. Okay. Yeah, see, like, these guys are back on transport fleets. One more turn. Actually, I'm going to move up to here, where we can still recruit. Let's recruit a few more of these ramming vessels, and we're going to go over here. And if these guys are still on transport fleets, we are going to sink the crap out of them.
Ready for battle. At your command.
Let's see. We're still positive public order there, and a little bit negative here. Nothing to be super concerned with at the moment. How is the food in this province, though? We're plus 45. It's only 10 food, and we get an extra public order there. It's going to take a lot of my money, though, so let's just wait and make sure that's what we want to do. We are definitely struggling down there. Let's go ahead and... I thought this was where I was going to build my paganism building. Was it not? Was it here? Yeah, it was here. So we can build the Statue of the Divine. Do we eventually get priest out of this? Sure don't. Crap. It has to be built in the town center, I guess. Well, let's see what we can do. I can't give up any of this public order from the stuff. I kind of need the sanitation. This does give me a little bit of extra sanitation. Gives me wealth from culture, public order +2, so we'll lose some sanitation. I could just build the sanitation building out here, though, and tear down the one in my main province, and then put the religious structure there. Let's do that. That should allow us to build the building in the city. Let's see, city religion. Yeah, because there's where we get the priest, and we need that. We need it bad. We have to get to the level 2 building to enable priest. We still can't train any agents, but we should be able to soon, because we got Tabernet going up in a few locations. In fact, we should check on where those are at. Let's go check our event message. Buildings constructed, or demolition complete. Where were we building the Tabernet? Was it here? Tarraco? No. Was it here? It was somewhere around here. Was it by Attica? Could have sworn somewhere we were building the Tabernet. Was it Rome? Yes. No? No. It was not Rome. Get an extra 5 public order out of that, but public order in Rome is pretty decent right now. But we're going to lose some when that one's completed. I'm just still really just trying to... Where was I building? I swear I had started building Tabernet in some of these places. And apparently I have not. Let me run through all my provinces and see. Not one there, not one there. Here. Auditorium? No. Also not one here, but I do need to build this theater. It's just, again, extra wealth that's going to go to me everywhere, and we need that. Man, now the public order's gone negative out here again. Just going to have to eat the maintenance cost and upgrade both of these. That one's food consumption, though. We are perfectly good on food. So I'm going to have to eat the cost of building these. Because I've got to have the public order. Could have sworn that I was building a Tabernet somewhere. Administration. Was it Narbonensis? Yeah, okay, it was Narbonensis. That's where it's at, and it's almost complete. Good. Knew I wasn't going crazy, but sometimes I wonder. Okay. So we will be able to start recruiting certain agents soon. We can go ahead and take out this Ostrogothic force here, because it's not going to be able to get away. Let's do that. Come on. Be a good boy and die. I'm just going to kill the captives. So that Ostrogothic horde is out of the way. Let's garrison these guys here. We might as well while we're here. They've got upgrades. Let's see what we can do. Public order in the local province. That doesn't hurt. Authority when leading an army. Might as well. We can get them additional replenishment, but let's go ahead and start with the public order boost. That'll really help us make sure that we get all these towns built up with good, solid public order. Can we row hard? We can't attack when we're in row hard, but we can basically make up some of the distance on these guys and catch them. Now wherever they run, I should be able to catch up to them. I don't think their transport fleet can outrun my navy, but we'll see. Guess it's always possible. Let's give these guys a boost to integrity, because theirs was pretty poor. It's improving now. Integrity's good here. Integrity's good there. We need to get these guys some Armageri, or Armageri. We can use this other army down here to transfer some to them. So let's actually, since we're all safe down here, let's just start force marching these guys up to Ravenna, or actually all the way up here to Mediolanum. We'll just, Mediolanium, whatever it is, we'll switch with those guys. How's public order down here? It's not bad. It's not good, but it's stable. We're alive. Could be worse. Carthage actually having pretty good public order at the moment. Let's take these guys out of any stance, and let's just kind of mosey on down here. And are these guys sieging the African rebels? I'm just going to actually that makes Carthage go into the negative on public order. That's unfortunate. Well, let's just get it built all the way up in case I have to step out. Public order is probably suffering. Religious differences are going to be pretty big everywhere until we get a lot more conversion done. I'm assuming that's probably what we're up against here. I don't know that for sure. Anyway, I'm out of time for this episode. Believe it or not, we have not had a battle, which is absolutely shocking, because we're normally fighting battle after battle after battle. But that's okay. We got some good stuff done this episode, and we're going to keep getting some good stuff done. Yep, those guys are training. I will see you all on the next one. I say that. I'm not quite done yet. This army here, so I'm probably going to stay in Arbanesis for 2 more turns, and I think it'll be stable. And I'm going to move over here and help take care of the Abdonians just as long as I can last that long. So this is not the best army here, but it's got enough men that we could certainly put up a fight. In fact, I need to fortify here just in case they attack me, because from the fortification we will have a much better chance of success. Get down here without force marching. This will at least slow down the public order deterioration here, which is pretty severe. Man, there's just not much we can do. We could build that. We could tear down the governor's house while I have the army here and just build up the forum one that has the huge public order boost. It's probably going to be the best because we're just not getting a lot out of this right now. Let's tear this down. And there we go. I will see you all in the next episode. HeirofCarthage signing.